Hey there, what's up internet? My name is BlackLightAttack. Today we are playing some Spy on King of the Hill Viaduct. This is the old crappy version of Viaduct, not the modded awesome competitive version of Viaduct. But this is just some old footage I had laying around. This is actually footage I collected for the Spy weapon guides. And more on that later, but I was actually surprised to see a full, well, somewhat cohesive gameplay that I was going to be able to use, in which I did fairly well. Even if it was against pretty low skill opponents, that I could actually commentate, because you might see some of this footage again once the Spy Weapon guides actually come out. But so basically, when you do YouTube, okay, all right, just spoiler real quick. If you ever decide to do YouTube, whenever you're recording, you're gonna play like a dead rat on a keyboard. And whenever you're not recording, you're going to play like Banny himself. You are going to be the most godly player of any game ever. You're going to be an unstoppable force of nature. And then the second you hit record, you're going to go full retard. It's just going to happen. You have to accept it. It's Murphy's Law in action. This is one of the rare exceptions where I was actually doing pretty well, even though I was doing it against, engineers that don't turn around when I sap their buildings right behind them. That's beside the point. But I'm just happy to have this to show you guys. Now, as for the Spy weapon guides, I told you guys something like 3 or 4 weeks ago that in a week from that time that I told you guys this, the first episode was going to be done and then work on some more, and then by the time I had 2 or 3 episodes in the bag and ready to go, I would start releasing them. It didn't happen, like, even a little bit, like, not even close. Are you kidding? Who are you talking about? It's me. It's me here. I'm the king of fucking procrastination. So not only was I procrastinating really bad, but I also ran into a snag where I was ready to work on it, but I just couldn't find the perfect music, and I spent just hours at work poring over video game background music, just OST after OST, and trying to find some music that I could use on YouTube, which is basically royalty-free, copyright-free, and video game music. Video game music is not royalty or copyright-free, but video game companies generally just don't care if you use their music, except Nintendo, apparently. But, side point, totally different story, different day. And I finally found the perfect background music, but, again, I kept procrastinating, and then all of a sudden they announced, I'm actually very glad I procrastinated, because all of a sudden they have announced that there are some major changes coming to TF2 that we in the community have to look forward to. So I wanted to detail some of those a bit, and basically it's going to mean that the Spy weapon guides are going to be put on hiatus until we know exactly the nature of these changes, because a lot of items are being changed. Now, I doubt that the stock knife is going to be changed all that much, and that's going to be the first episode of the Spy weapon guide, so it shouldn't matter too much for that episode. But coming after that is the stock revolver, which I think might be able to see a change. The disguise kit, I don't know. Or no, I'm sorry, not the stock revolver. I think the disguise kit and then the invisibility watch I'm doing. I forget my order already. I'm a mess. But anyway, I think it's just better to just play it safe and see what they're going to change, if anything, of the guides that are going to be immediately affected. And then before I write the guides for the weapons that have been changed, I'm going to have to play, spend a lot of playtime with them to make sure I understand the weapon. So basically, how do we know that an update is coming? What does this update entail? So we don't know too much about it yet, but it's going to be the big summer update. That's probably going to coincide with the Steam summer sale. It's rumored to happen July 11th, which would be great because that's 2 days from now. And I would be super, super happy if that's true. Don't know if it is. Just the rumor. Just what I've heard. So recently, a summer appetizer crate started dropping. And it's not anything really that exciting. It's just a bunch of hats and cosmetic items that have been added to the store not too long ago. And you can, some of them are kind of cool. I mean, you can buy them in the store for more if you want, or you can just open a crate, whatever. I'm not too jazzed about it. I guess there's always a chance you get an unusual if you want. And they had added some new unusual effects recently as well. But that's just an appetizer. That's the cool thing. So there's a much bigger, better crate coming up that are dropping right now in the form of like summer claim checks or something like that. And they're going to be redeemed for crates once the update hits, and a lot of them are dropping. People are getting a shitload of them, so it's obviously, I would say to me, a crate that Valve wants people to open a lot of. So probably a community crate that was all community created items. Is it going to be new weapons? Don't know. Could very well be more cosmetic stuff, but even if it is another completely cosmetic crate, there's a lot more coming that is pretty much going to sate us on the please give us new stuff to play with front. But anyway, July 5th, we were told that they're adding 2 new maps to the official rotation. I say new in quotes. They are maps that have already existed on servers that ran custom maps, so these were community-created maps. And one of them is actually very actively played in 6v6. I'm not sure about Highlander, but I know about 6v6, and that's CP Process. The other one is CP Stand-In, which is not nearly as popular. I know Star made a good video about it, and you can check that out if you want. It's on his channel somewhere. And those are both community created. Both of them have had at least some activity in competitive. Process is the one that stayed. Stand-In is the one that did not. And they are being added to official map rotations, which is cool. They're being officially inducted into the Valve server Hall of Mediocrity. Also, a whole bunch of other maps are being tweaked so that it's not completely unfair to new players. There are going to be a lot less like exploit jump spots that soldiers, demo men, and engineers can get to, and no one else can, and you know, confuses and upsets new players, which I think is a pretty good thing. You know, Valve servers are for new players anyway, and they're going to be the ones running these. Just yesterday, they announced that dozens, they say, of weapons are being retooled, restatisticked, just adjusted in some way. They're going to be tweaked and twerked, and it's going to be great. You know, maybe not so great for me because you can see I'm using the Dead Ringer here, and this may be the last time I get to effectively use the Dead Ringer because the Dead Ringer is getting a pretty big nerf. I won't go into detail because it's not a detrimental nerf. It's still going to be a very usable weapon. But we'll have to see how it is in practice. They're saying they're going to buff like the Battalion's Backup, for example, because nobody fucking uses that thing because it's garbage. And then they're taking item sets, and they haven't really confirmed whether it's going to be a nerf or a buff or kind of a mix between. But basically, item sets aren't going to have stat bonuses anymore, and they're saying that they're going to take those stat bonuses that some give them, give you, like the Saharan Spy making your cloak inaudible, or the headshot immunity from the sniper, the Croco style set. And they're going to integrate that more into single items. I don't know how you integrate a headshot immunity into like the Sydney Sleeper and not make it overpowered, but I'm excited to see what it is. Anyway, guys, we're going to have to see exactly what's happening with this update in the coming days, and once we know a little bit more, that's when I'll start, you know, working on those spy weapon guides and pushing them out really hard. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I say that, I'm probably going to put it off even longer, but anyway, that's it from me, guys. Don't forget to like the video, because if you do, more people are going to see it, and that encourages me to not be a lazy asshole and sit around and do nothing. So, see you guys next time. Goodbye.